Right, today we're going to have a more in-depth look at the KD Steam Angelique steam engine, which we've seen before, but I thought today we'd try and see if we can have a look at it in more detail. Over here we have the burner, and as you can see, the burner is unusual design. It turns up at the end and it has a fiberglass wick in it as well, which long lasting. It certainly works very well. In the engine itself, it has a special fitting here in the front for the burner to hold the burner so it doesn't vibrate out of its position, and a slot further to hold it here. And if you can see inside here, I'm not sure if you can, there's a little cutout down at the bottom where it fits into the firebox. So the burner fits in like that onto the engine. Another interesting thing about this engine is that it doesn't have any tubing for the inlets. The inlets are simply drilled into this plate, backing plate here, so it goes straight through from the boiler directly in there, which I think is quite an efficient design. Also notice the very long stroke piston, which is also quite unusual, thin but very long, so it has quite a long piston. This little unit over here is just simply to catch the oil drips at the bottom of the crank there, and then any oil drips out and comes out of the pipe at the bottom here, so that's the only purpose in which that serves. Try and clip that back. Let me just see if I can get that back there. There we go. Okay, that's on. The other interesting thing is it has a safety valve which is also permanently attached. It's not an unscrewable one, so the idea being that it can't be left off by mistake. And a separate filler up the top here. There's also an overflow over here, so that if you put in too much liquid it will overflow. The other thing which you can't see is that the flue runs right through the boiler, so the water surrounds it, which also makes it much more efficient. Another unusual feature here, I'm not sure if you can see this on the video, but there is a gap here between the exhaust and the actual backing here that's not soldered on directly but leaves a gap. That gives it its unique chuffing sound. So all in all, quite an unusual design. Another interesting feature over here, which you can see over here, this is all beautifully machined out of brass. No little bits of wire and that like on other engines, and then there's also bearing in here, so there's a sort of a well to put the oil in, and that holds the oil in there while you're actually running the engine, similar to on some of the Walesko and other engines. It's a very nicely made piece of machinery indeed. Okay, thanks very much for having a look. The instructions also come in a box, and they are actually taped to the lid of the box. I've made a copy of them here so that I can have them at hand, so the idea being that they don't get lost.